All right, so I know you guys heard the news. Former Cowboys head coach Jimmy Johnson tells Joe Rose on their radio show is that he's been added to the Cowboys advisory board, and he's back in that capacity. He's been talking to Jerry Jones and after the Green Bay Packers game for hours on what needed with this particular team. And I guess by putting Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor, Jimmy is leaning and giving Jerry Jones a helping hand, and maybe he advised Jerry to go out there and sign Mike Zimmer, right? There are a lot of things that could be going on that we just don't know of. All I can say is this will be a good situation for us, not a bad one. We need help. We need somebody to advise the Jones family. Now, if Jerry can give up the GM role and put Jimmy Johnson in that spot, keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. When Jimmy Johnson was here in the capacity of the head coach, he was also, dare I say, the general manager. So when Jimmy left, two positions left, the general manager and the head coach. So I would look at it from this philosophy and principle is that if these two can work together, it will be a great storyline that you can really sell, Jerry. You can really sell it. Let's finish how we started. Woo! I will buy that book. I know somebody out here right now will buy that book. I know somebody right now will buy the Kool-Aid, will buy anything and everything to hype this up. The Jimmy Swagger, the Jerry Jones back with the mix. Man, come on with it, baby. Y'all know you will buy that book, and you know that you will go to every game with the headline, big and bold letters, baby. Let's finish how we started. Woo! Come on with it. Come on with it. Come on. Gene Jones, Jerry Jr., Stephen Jones, all of the Jones family. Man, don't y'all know that will be very sellable? Man, come on with it. Let's finish how we started. Come on with it, man. But neither here nor there. Cowboy Nation, I get it and I understand. A lot of people is looking back at this and saying to themselves, I would not believe the Cowboys all the way up until we get to the playoffs and at least see one playoff game. But it starts with mindset and mentality. If we can get mindset together, mentality together, I know that leadership will be at the door. And on top of that, sometimes you got to look at the complete picture. You just can't learn leadership by itself without going through growing pains. So that's why these good teams or great teams make sure that they got the veteran presence. I heard what Bart Scott said earlier, like Michael Parsons supposed to be able to draw out that leadership, veteran leadership out of where? Who's the veteran on this team? We can yell D-Law. On the defensive side, outside of D-Law, who else? Malik Hooker, come on with it, baby. So not to beat up those boys, I think that the Jimmy Johnsons of the world and Mike Zim, they can go out and find that veteran guy or raise the guys that's here, that's on this team on the defensive side to be those leaders. And on the offensive side, hey, Dak, Jimmy Johnson will be able to raise your leadership skills. Keep in mind, Jimmy is more of a philosopher, right? He's a thinker. He's an analyst. He's a forward guy, right? He's not this dude that you can play around with. Even the olden Jimmy, right? I heard just recently, even Troy Aikman, when he was talking to, I believe, Stephen A. Smith, he was saying that Jimmy meant every word that he said at halftime of the Dallas Cowboys versus the Green Bay Packers.
This was as upset as I've seen Jimmy, and I've been around him a lot, of course, over the last 25 years since he left Dallas. This was as upset as I've seen him since I played for him. That intensity that we saw as players when he was our coach, that's what America saw in his halftime talk to the team, and he meant it. And when Strahan reacted to him the way that he did, thinking Jimmy was half joking, I could tell that there was no joking about it.
First of all, I can't say what I would say now on television, but I'll just say this. Every single one of you, you know how hard we've worked. I don't need to have people pointing the fingers one thing or another. You get your rear end in there and you play the way you know how to play. We can win the game. We're going to open it up. We're going to go fast tempo. Defense, get after Jordan Love. You can't give him that much time. You do what you're supposed to do, we'll win this game.
All right. That got Michael fired. He's got everybody fired up.
No, Mike, no.
Let me confront you. Me for a shoot right now.
He was being real. So when I say these things, I know for sure that none of the players got a chance and an opportunity to hear one word of Jimmy. Jimmy ultimately is a motivator. You bring him into the folds, he will change a lot of things. All of that cultural stuff that people were talking about that the Cowboys need, he will bring that.
He ain't lying.
So I can't wait for the audio is released so I can hear Jimmy say these things. I know that since it's literally Jimmy Johnson talking to this guy named Joe Rose, not Jalen Rose, but Joe Rose, and not Joe Rogan, but Joe Rose. I know for sure that it's something tangible with this, but when I hear him, then I would know whether or not it's hogwash or not. But Jimmy is not the one to play around with his words, right? So if he's back into any shape, form of capacity within the franchise or organization, it is a plus for us, Cowboy Nation, and the culture change will happen. And when I listen to what Emmett, the playmaker, all of those boys who were out there at Media Row during the Super Bowl, I think that this is why they dialed things back a little bit, because Jimmy said, you know what? Hey, I've been talking to Jerry, and we back on good terms as of now, right? So we'll see how all of this will transform into something good, or we need for it to transform into something great, and we need to make sure that every piece is in the right place for the 2024 season. Come on, Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. I'm crunk about it. I'm hype about it. And as the captain of the Kool-Aid Stirring Committee, hey, I'm about to get that spoon out and start getting that Kool-Aid ready. It's not ready to sip yet, but let Jimmy Johnson be in the building. Shoot, I have everybody sipping over here. Come on, baby. Don't be tripping. Just get to sipping. Dallas Cowboys, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Salute. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Hey, let me play that clip one more time about fatigue. We need that over here. We need a Jimmy Johnson in the locker room, baby. Let's go. Let that clip play and repeat it over and over again. Let's go. Salute.
You know, the legs get tired.
Football rewards the guys that are in great condition. That's when you have fun. When you're kicking somebody's ass and they're sucking for win. There was a great coach one time says, fatigue makes cowards of us all. When you're tired, you make mistakes, you don't do what's right, and your will to win all of a sudden starts to waver just a little bit. You get tired and all of a sudden you don't have that same fight. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. If you're in great shape, if you can run like a deer, at the end of the ball game, you're going to be smiling and having fun. And let me tell you something, guys. This is going to be the greatest time in your life. I used to sit in this same-ass room. I'd look at the schedule, and I said, God, oh, I can't wait till Oklahoma comes in here. I can't wait till Florida comes in here. I want to kick their ass. And that's what you should feel. This is why you came to Miami. That's why you wanted to be a Hurricane. But you can only do it if you're in great shape and if you're not sucking for win at the end of the game. And when you look across the way and that guy is hanging down, he is a coward. He's a coward because he's tired. Don't be tired.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I just got one more thing to say. How about this?